News with Katrina Smith.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday, January 10th. I'm Katrina Smith, and we'll get to those stories in just a moment, but we're following breaking news right now out of Little Falls. We are hearing reports of a person who has fallen in the Mohawk River near the industrial park area. We have very limited details at this point, but we will be tracking this story throughout the day. Again, one person fell through the ice, according to reports. Police and Ilion PD are staging in the area of the old boat launch in Little Falls. We will continue to follow up on this. Let's head over to the Weather Center with meteorologist James DeFazio. Temperatures. Yes. In the past few days, we've had that January thaw.
Yep, and it's a perfect example of why we want to avoid the ice today. I'm a very avid ice fisherman. If I wasn't working today, I would do everything I can to be ice fishing, but it's just simply not safe today. It was 51 degrees at midnight last night. So it's been a warm night. It's cooled down since midnight, although that did some damage to the ice, especially on areas that have moving waters, such as the Mohawk River. Some of the few exceptions may be some of the extremely shallow lakes in the extreme northern Adirondacks, like Fort Lake, Blue Mountain Lake, areas that have seen the coldest temperatures. We are in alert mode for tonight. We're tracking the chance for freezing rain this evening. It looks to arrive between 3 and 5 p.m. The primary concerns are east and northeast of Utica, where anything that is untreated will turn slick. It's a calm, cloudy start to our weekend, and that's going to be the predominant weather for the majority of our Saturday. Dry weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. That continues until about 3:30 p.m. 36 degrees with cloudy skies. Those winds, after being very breezy last night and very gusty, finally have subsided down to calm. Temperatures across the region, this is what we're going to be watching today to see if we can stay above freezing. The Adirondack Park, these are where we're expecting the worst of the freezing rain to occur later this evening. The southern tier slightly above freezing. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on temperatures for the entirety of the day today. Highs are going to be right around 36, stable temperatures through the middle portions of the day. Cloudy skies for the first half of the day. That wintry mix approaches between 3 and 4 p.m. Coming up, I will have an ice map for you to show you who is most likely to see ice accumulation. Katrina?
Thank you so much, James. We're also...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Saturday morning. After a very windy night overnight tonight, calmer conditions have settled in this morning, and that continues for the majority of today. That changes during the mid-afternoon, early evening, and that is when a wintry mix of freezing rain and snow and rain arrive in central New York. Most of us just going to see plain rain. But we are in an alert mode because today is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day, because not all of us are going to see plain rain. We have an ice map out for the areas most likely to see slick spots this evening. We're being a little precautionary on this one. We don't expect it to be horrific, but with any ice in the forecast, we are always careful. Cloudy, calm start to the weekend. Ice arrives late Saturday, approximately 4 p.m. And then lake effect snow develops Sunday, and it continues into the day on Monday. Winter weather alerts. We have winter weather advisories in effect for Fulton County, for Hamilton County, and for northern Herkimer County. And that's because these are the higher terrain areas that are expected to see the majority of the icing later this evening and into the overnight. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar is quiet and dry, and it is going to stay this way through the daylight hours today. We're not going to see any rain arrive until the mid to late afternoon hours. After 4 p.m., that ice begins to accumulate. We see a couple tenths of an inch across central New York, up to 2 tenths of an inch across the Adirondack Park. As we're tracking on the bigger picture, you'll see this large area of low pressure quickly move northward, a widespread precipitation shield. We have on the leading edge here a mix of freezing rain and snow, primarily across the higher elevations. We all will eventually transition over to rain, but look what happens by 9:30 p.m. We're seeing more pinks than we were at the beginning of the arrival of the rain. The pinks are going to be primarily across the higher terrain, but that's why we're a little bit concerned about that freezing rain and slick spots. Lake effect snow develops during Sunday afternoon and brings us back to winter. Our ice potential: freezing rain likely across the highest elevations, east, northeast of Utica. Freezing rain possible in the lighter pink. Everyone else should just see plain old rain. Today, cloudy conditions before that rain arrives. Rain arrives between 4 and 5 p.m. It starts off as a wintry mix for most and then slowly transitions to rain. It does warm up overnight. The one exception is the Adirondack Park in Hamilton County. As we head towards Sunday, drier conditions to begin the day, and then lake effect snow develops during the afternoon. We all see a light accumulation. Today, highs are going to be in the mid-30s during the early portions of the day, cloudy with a wintry mix approaching for this evening. A look at your 7-day forecast. We're in alert day mode today because of that chance for slippery roads later this evening. And that continues, I shouldn't say alert day continues, but the slippery weather continues into Sunday. Snow showers Sunday, snow showers continue into the day on Monday, a light accumulation both days. We'll have snowfall maps out this evening. Cloudy and calm Tuesday, a rain-snow mix Wednesday, and then it starts to get frigid again. We start to head back towards winter. And speaking of frigid, Katrina, any guesses?
I feel like February, but our director feels like January, so I'm going to go with I feel like
I'm going to say that you're both right, even though it's technically January.
Every year is different, James.
It is different, and that's why that's one of the things I wanted to mention is the coldest month that we ever recorded was actually in February. So even though year to year, from year to year, January is averaged to be the coldest month in central New York and in the northern hemisphere in general, the coldest month we ever had was actually February 2015.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So in our lifetime?
Yes.
No kidding.
I'll never forget because I was in college and I was frozen.
I'm still thawing out.
Yes.
Thank you so much, James. 6 months after. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another half hour of News Channel 2 Weekend Today. I'm Katrina Smith. Get you right over to the Weather Center with meteorologist James DeFazio.
Yes.
James, today's an alert day because of what's happening later in the day, correct?
Correct. It looks to arrive between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. and it's going to be a mix of freezing rain and plain rain. And the areas that we're most concerned of are east and northeast of Utica. And I do have an ice map denoting the areas that we expect to see, that are most likely to see slick conditions. But this is something that we don't take lightly. Anytime freezing rain is a possibility in the forecast, we issue an alert day just because it doesn't take very much freezing rain to create major issues. Freezing rain is the most dangerous of our precipitation types. This morning, it's a cloudy, calm start, and that's going to be the weather for the majority of the day today. We don't see any precipitation through the morning hours or through the beginning of the afternoon. Dry weather will continue on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar until the early evening hours. 36 degrees with cloudy skies after incredibly breezy conditions overnight and during the day yesterday. We are finally down to calm winds, and that will continue. We are going to be closely watching temperatures today. We will climb above freezing, but temperatures will begin to drop when the precipitation arrives. That is going to force us to be watching these numbers very carefully for pockets of air that are below freezing that can support freezing rain. We do believe that most of these will be isolated east and northeast of Utica, and I will denote that on a map coming right up in full weather. Highs today in the mid-30s, approximately 36 degrees this morning, with cloudy skies. That wintry mix approaches between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. Again, coming up, we'll break down who's likely to see the slickest conditions. Katrina?
Thank you so much, James.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Saturday morning. We're tracking calmer conditions. After very blustery, windy conditions last night, calmer winds have arrived. Calm winds have settled in. It's a calm, cloudy start to our weekend, but that changes as we head into the late afternoon, early evening tonight, and that is why we are in alert mode. Take a look at downtown Utica, where again, cloudy and calm to start. Not going to finish the day that way. We can see played quite a bit of snow still on the ground. We didn't lose all of our snow despite this relatively healthy thaw. We're tracking a cloudy, calm start to the weekend. Ice arrives late in the day today, approximately between 3:30 and 5 o'clock p.m. Lake effect snow returns for Sunday, putting an end to our January thaw. We have winter weather advisories in place for Fulton, Hamilton, and northern Herkimer counties because these are the areas, the highest elevations, where we expect to see the slickest conditions, the areas that see the most freezing rain by far. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar is quiet, dry, and it will stay this way through the mid portion of the day today. Begins to change as we head into the middle of the afternoon. We're tracking a couple tenths of an inch possible of ice accumulation. This is underdoing it just a little bit, anywhere from a tenth of an inch in Utica all the way up to 2/10 of an inch in central Hamilton County. We're tracking this large precipitation shield to quickly lift north today. By 5 to 6 p.m., we are all over to rain, freezing rain, and even some pockets of snow across northern Hamilton County. Notice how as we move forward here, that pink doesn't move out of Hamilton County or Fulton County, or really the North Country very much at all. It hangs on pretty tough, which is why we have that alert day in place. Some areas will see an extended period of icing. Eventually, we all climb above freezing, and then things improve. That changes yet again on Sunday as lake effect snow returns and temperatures drop back below freezing. Our ice potential for tonight in the dark pink, freezing rain very likely in these areas. This is where those winter weather advisories are in place. In the lighter pink, from Utica just barely to the east, to the north, freezing rain is possible, less likely. The rest of us just see plain rain. Today, primarily cloudy conditions with temperatures in the low to mid-30s. Rain overspreads the region as the night progresses, and we see a little bit of freezing rain and snow mixing in to those higher elevations. Please be careful if you're doing any traveling this evening, especially if you're heading east or northeast of Utica. Highs today around 36 degrees. That wintry mix approaches as the day progresses. Gets to central New York right around 4 p.m. Once we clear today's alert day, we're back into winter. Lake effect snow on Sunday, lake effect snow on Monday, some light accumulations both days. Cloudy and dry weather on Tuesday gives us a chance to dig out. Another mild day Wednesday before we head back into winter. Chilly weather by the time we approach the second half of next week. Highs only in the 20s. Man, I feel old.
I'm going to go with 19. I was retracing my steps from the early 2000s.
Which was hilarious to watch.
BlackBerry, Nokia, flip phone. Yeah, I'm that old.
I miss the old phones. You could play Snake, you know, all of the simple games. 19 years ago, Brick Breaker, yeah. 19 years ago, January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs said to the world, here's the iPhone.
Wow.
That feels
When did you get your first iPhone? Mine was the 3.
I actually had the original. Wow. Yeah, I needed it for work.
They were thick and rounder.
It was huge.
Yep.
I still have it. I still have it.
I don't think I have my 3.
It's thick.
You could probably get money for that today. Thank you so much, James. Well, help from
News with Ben Kinney.
Good evening. The rain continues to fall as we come onto the air tonight. Just look behind me on the Nexus camera. It's a mess out there. Is it going to freeze over? How much are we going to get? The only man who has the answer, meteorologist James DeFazio. He's in the Weather Center, been tracking it all night.
It's been a bit of a deluge out there.
Yeah, just say the least.
Some heavy rain. Those of us that were spared the freezing precipitation saw plenty of heavy rain, which did quite a number on our snowpack. Fortunately, we're not seeing any flooding issues at this time. There is standing water out on roadways. If you're traveling, just be aware of that. We still also do have isolated areas of freezing rain in these areas within the winter weather advisories, northern Fulton, Hamilton, primarily in Hamilton County at this time. Very heavy rain continues to fall, falling so hard it almost looks like snowfall on the Nexus cam. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing that we still have a couple hours of steady to moderate rainfall to work through central New York. 35 with heavy rain falling at Griffiths and Rome. Breezy conditions, 8 to 15 mile per hour winds continue. Temperatures across the region are above freezing, but there are isolated pockets where we are seeing that wintry mix continue. That wintry mix will change over to rain with lows around 30 degrees tonight. Coming up, we're going to break down the return of winter for tomorrow. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. One person is dead.
Before they go, the Storm Tracker 2 bus stop forecast.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Saturday evening. We're tracking plenty of wet weather, some of which was a wintry mix for the North Country and for areas east-northeast of Utica. The rest of us just seeing plain old rain tonight, and it's coming down quite heavily. Take a look at downtown Utica, where moderate to heavy rainfall continues, and we're going to continue to see these showers for another hour to 3, and then things will turn much lighter. The heavier rain continues for about another hour to 2, and then things turn very showery, and then drier conditions arrive overnight. The wintry mix and rain continues for some. The wintry mix pretty much isolated to Hamilton County at this point. The lake effect snow is going to return Sunday afternoon. We're all going to pick up a widespread accumulation tomorrow afternoon and early evening. And it's also going to be breezy tomorrow evening. We're going to see blowing snow. We're going to see wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour tomorrow evening. Your winter weather alerts, we have winter weather advisories still in place for northern Fulton, Hamilton, northern Herkimer, and Lewis counties, and that is for isolated pockets of freezing rain. And as you can see in the pink here, the areas that are seeing the most freezing rain right now are northern Fulton and Hamilton counties, and that should continue over the next 30 minutes to an hour before warmer air dries in. You can still see we still have plenty of moderate to heavy rainfall to work across central New York. It's going to work through rather quickly, but we're not done with the rain just yet. Temperatures across the region are above freezing, but they're barely above freezing. They're just a couple of degrees above freezing, and that's why we're seeing some of those higher terrain areas having those mixing issues at this time. The larger radar and satellite loops showing those showers back to the southwest that will continue to work through central New York. Drier air works in for overnight for central New York by 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Things turn much showery and much drier. Until then, steady rainfall continues. That drier air works in by the middle of the overnight. It's a dry start to our Sunday. A cold front begins to work through during the morning hours, and that's going to drop temperatures throughout the day. We drop from the low 30s down into the 20s. And we get widespread lake effect snow showers. Widespread in the sense that it's not one band. We're going to see several bands of lake effect snow across central New York. Widespread light accumulation of trace to 2 inches. And then another light snowfall during the day on Monday. This looks to primarily fall across the North Country. Freezing rain the likeliest, again, within this dark pink zone, but it's beginning to come to an end now. Wind gusts tomorrow in the wake of this cold front. After tomorrow afternoon, the winds really tick up. By tomorrow afternoon, mid-afternoon, 25 to 30 miles per hour, but look what happens as we head towards the overnight. 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, very blustery conditions. And our snowfall map for tomorrow, this is from noon Sunday until early 4 a.m. Monday morning. Just a trace to 2 inches for most of us, a 2 to 4 inch polygons for some of the higher terrain, both north and south of Utica. Tonight, primarily calm conditions once this rain moves out of here. It's been coming down very hot and heavy, and it will for another half hour before things calm down in full. It's a dry start to your Sunday, and it stays dry until about noon, and that's when those lake effect snow showers develop. Widespread lake effect snow showers continue through Sunday afternoon, through Sunday evening into Monday morning. It's a dry start to Monday, but again, we're tracking those lake effect snow showers to continue Monday across the North Country. Tonight, the wintry mix continues with temperatures in the low 30s. A look at your 7-day forecast. We're tracking winter's return for Sunday and for Monday. A calm, dry day on Tuesday and a warm day. Another warm day Wednesday. Rain changes to snow, and we head back towards winter. Scattered snow showers Thursday. Much cooler weather as we head towards next weekend.